Let's go with it. The name of this report is CyberShield Subpoena Storm. What I'm trying to give you today is a situation report on where we stand on the continuing battle against computer-related crime, particularly as it affects your business. And I am pleased to report we are winning. We now have specific statutes in 48 states. Massachusetts does not seem to have been able to make up their mind yet, and Vermont is Vermont and independent to the core, but everyone else has specific statutes. Keep in mind we didn't need those statutes, those aspects of the social contract, because what they are doing with computers is the same kind of thing that has been criminal ever since the concept of crime emerged from the caves. So why do we have statutes? We have statutes for the very simple reason that the Constitution of the United States requires people be put on notice of what is forbidden. You have in the back of your handout a list of all the current statutes. You have with you at the conference Buck Bloombecker. Buck is not only an author of repute, he also is a persistent pack rat and has come up with a good accumulation not only of the statutes but of all cases under the statutes. And while he's there, you could do a lot worse than contact him about subscribing to what the National Center for Computer Crime Data can make available to you. If you are doing business in more than one state, I respectfully suggest that you subscribe fully because you need that information now, and I can guarantee your company attorney is not going to have the information he has. He does civil law mostly. Buck, as a former prosecutor in Los Angeles County, knows both sides of it, and he's got the information you need to make the decisions. This is not a paid political announcement. This is just a belief by a friend that you've got a good resource right there. The reason I say we're winning is not only have we won in the cases we've prosecuted in my county and in Los Angeles and in Santa Clara and up and down here, not only has Ivan Orton up in Seattle won the cases he's going after, but the U.S. attorneys have ridden in and have done some devastating work. I'll talk to you in a bit about the Phoenix Project, one aspect of which, the Steve Jackson aspect, gets into civil liability. But the overall result of that case is a resounding triumph. The original thief of the 911 system was prosecuted down in Georgia area, Joe Whitley, U.S. attorney down there, and did 21 months and is paying $233,000, I believe, in restitution. At least that was the judgment. Also, the other people who worked with him on that particular thing, 2 other defendants went in at the same time. Not to extend this, but last time I was with you, we were in Miami. This is about 3 years ago, I guess. And that was the year of the internet virus. And as you probably know, Robert Teppan Morris Jr., RTM, read the manual. RTM managed to drop in a virus that went beyond control and cost us considerable expense across the length and breadth of this country through the internet, was convicted of what accounts almost to a negligence theory, dumping in the virus not to bring down the system, but without recognizing the risk that he was subjecting the entire system to. It's not just his sandbox. And doing it without authority, even though he had access. The point is he didn't have access for the purpose of that kind of wild experimentation. And as you know, last month, the United States Supreme Court declined to hear his last available appeal. We are getting convictions. We are standing by them. But in the process, we are learning things. We are learning, for example, about your vulnerabilities. And I think that's an important thing to take a look at. Let me sketch this out as best I can in the manner of the kind of briefing that we've become accustomed to, exactly what it is you've got to be looking out for. Need the right hat for this one. All right, listen up. Your data is here. That's your information. Your data, not only how you do business, but your personnel's private business, your client's business, your customer data. All that material is located here. You are here. What are the attacks on it? Well, one of the basic attacks, 80% of the crime that you're being subjected to is coming from your employees. Your employees are responsible for 80% of this. That's chiseling, faking files, creating false customers, all the other material that is ebbing away your resources. Sometimes this is in the pay of your competitors. Sometimes it's simply idle misuse of your resources. Are you helpless in the face of this? Of course not. But recognize that is your problem. Another problem is an intrusion into your system. In fact, let's put this 80% because it covers the whole thing. And now we've got to talk about intruders. Now, we're all fond of talking about the hackers, the people coming in on the idea that they have a right to browse your system and see what's wrong with it. This has been condemned, as I'll tell you, by the EFF. This is not anything any responsible person wants to do, but it goes on. But that's a relatively small amount. The intrusion they make is usually to browse, not to change. Specific sections cover that. What they do is they get it out and they put it on the net. They share your vulnerability with others. That creates a considerable risk to you. The basic day-by-day risk you're running into these days is what is called social engineering. Social engineering, which is a polite and $12 word for basically a con game. Now, the way this con game works is significant, and so significant that I want to tell you how this is going down and where your vulnerabilities lie in this area. Your vulnerabilities in this area are based upon nothing more or less than the inability of your people to create suspicion of callers. Now, it sounds like I'm dumping on you on this thing. I don't think I am. I'm also a record security manager. I am the agency terminal coordinator security officer for our office under state and federal law. So I deal with the kind of people you deal with, the people that answer phones and the people that deal with it. There is now, called social engineering, the practice of getting on the phone and getting information from your people, not by computer skills and not by any high tech we cannot decide, but simply by wheedling and talking their way through. We're presently involved in an investigation in which a prosecution is going for this stealing of your data, this theft of information in that way. And let me let you hear how very charmingly this is done.
Pacific, no, this is Ray.
Hi, Ray. Is Roberta in yet?
Who?
Roberta?
She sure is. Just a moment.
Oh.
This is Roberta.
Hey, Mama.
Well, good morning.
Listen, you know who's in concert? Whitney. You want 2 tickets?
Yeah.
Can you do me one?
Okay. What you got?
714-830-2584.
Okay. This is at 20702
20702
El Toro Road.
El Toro Road.
And ALT is that
El Toro.
Unit 343.
You know what?
What?
343?
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Hello.
Which one first?
It's 312 is fine.
10112 Perry. P as in Paul, E-R-R-Y in Chicago. Last name Johnson. 10112 Perry.
Okay, now we have the 406.
Goes to Frederick, last name. 2405 Wire Mill, M-I-L-L Road. Black Eagle, where's that, Montana?
Yeah.
Okay, Black Eagle, Montana. The other one's at 20702 El Toro Road, apartment 343 El Toro. 3 deals, $149 deals.
$149.
Next 3.